Today, Apple has released a new firmware version for the AirPods Pro 2 and the AirPods 4 alongside the new AirPods Pro 3 that were recently just released. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you the new version and some of the new features and changes that are here thanks to the new AirPods update alongside iOS 26. Now, a quick disclaimer, if you had been testing the iOS 26 beta version, the build number that the iOS 26 comes with today is slightly different from that of the final beta. So if you go into your settings and then go to software update, you want to make sure that your iPhone is up to date and you switch off the developer or public beta version to be able to get this new firmware version for the AirPods, as being on a beta might put you on a beta version of the AirPods, which we don't want. So once you make sure of that, you can now go into your settings and make sure your iPhone and AirPods are connected and go all the way down and you can check the version that you have. After updating to a public or non-beta version of iOS 26 and you still see a version that ends with the letter on the version right here. So right now I have 8 Alpha 356, which is the current latest version for the AirPods Pro 2, AirPods 4 and AirPods 3. But if you see anything other than this that has an A at the end or a letter at the end, it means your AirPods are still on a beta version. And to turn that off, you can always go into your settings, and at the bottom of your settings page you might have your iPhone in developer mode, and if you go into that section you have the ability to now turn off pre-release versions for AirPods. So if you go into this section, you can see there's an option for AirPods testing. If I select this, now I've turned everything off, and disconnect your AirPods from your iPhone and then connect them again. And after that is done, you can go into your settings and go to where it says version, and you should be on this publicly available version. If this doesn't update right away, just make sure your iPhone and AirPods are connected together and give it about 15 minutes just laying there. And of course, make sure that your AirPods are charged to a significant level. 80% or higher is pretty good. And after about 15 minutes, you should be able to see this new version. Now, what's new with the iOS 26 and the new AirPods firmware version that we have today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Actually, there's a lot of changes right here. So I have my AirPods and iPhone connected, as you can see. And if we go into the settings, one of the biggest changes that Apple demonstrated when it came to the new AirPods Pro 3 is live translation. And I'm glad that it's not just limited to the AirPods Pro 3, because if you now go into your AirPods testing, you can see on the home page under this section, if you go to where it says translation, you have languages. And if I select this, for example, you can see it says press and hold both AirPods to start live translation. Live translation helps you understand what is being said in another language for easy communication. Now, this feature is available on the AirPods Pro 2. It's available on the AirPods Pro 3. It's also available on the AirPods 4, but only the version that has the noise cancellation. So that's just a catch. And at the time of recording, or when I'm making this video, live translation is not available in the EU. I believe it's going to be coming later on, but those are just some of the disclaimers that you should know in case if you don't see it or if it doesn't work for you. And for you to be able to see it, you need an iPhone that supports iOS 26, of course, and you need an iPhone that supports Apple Intelligence, because it's using Apple Intelligence to do the live translation, which is another thing that, you know, might make some users not get this update or this feature. But let's look at it and see how it works. So press and hold, you can see what it talks about, and it says download languages to translate when offline. You can choose to always translate offline in settings, and if I click there, you can see it takes me to a translate setting right there, and now I can use Apple Intelligence and Siri right there. So you do have to enable your Apple Intelligence, and after that you can go into the background app, refresh, and the default translation app by default is the translate. And if you want your device to always translate own device without having to send data to any server or over the internet. You can enable this where it says always translate offline using downloaded languages. Offline translation may not be as accurate as online translation. Siri and Safari will always process translation online. There's a couple of languages that are supported from the get-go, and I believe more with time are going to be added. So you have English UK, you have French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. And if I, for example, download Spanish just like this, I'll quickly do this. It takes a little while to download, as you can see, and maybe I'll download these other ones, Portuguese, German, and French. It says that it's still in beta. Maybe that's why it's kind of buggy. So I tried to download all the languages and added them to the phone, and it still didn't work. It just keeps saying to use live translation, you need to download the languages on your iPhone to translate. And for some reason, even though I have the languages downloaded, it wouldn't work. And at the same time, if I show you my top-down view right here, you can see it now won't allow me to download any additional languages. So now it just has French and German, and my French video won't be detected for some reason. It just keeps saying the same thing. You can see it says
translation with Airpods. You'll need to download languages to this iPhone.
Yeah, so that's what it keeps saying. To use live translation on this iPhone, you need to download languages on this iPhone or something like that. But it just gives you a quick glimpse of how this looks and how this will work. So maybe the fact that it's in beta, like it says, that's why it's kind of buggy. But there are other new features and changes that are here with the AirPods thanks to the new iOS 26 updates and the new firmware. The first thing that I want to highlight is that when your AirPods are fully charged, you get a notification to let you know that, hey, your AirPods have been charged, and the notification will come on your iPhone. And if your AirPods level is lower than 20%, you also will get a notification on your iPhone just to let you know that, hey, maybe it's about time you charge your AirPods before you head out. And according to Apple also, there's an update for the AirPods whereby studio quality recording is now enabled when creating videos or using apps like voice memos. This new feature basically enhances the vocal clarity and texture of recordings, making them sound more professional. For me, I tried doing like a couple voice memo recordings using my AirPods in the voice memo app, but it sounded pretty much the same. If you watch my other videos, you know that with iOS 26 and with the tvOS 26, they've now enabled the ability to use your iPhone as a microphone for karaoke to sing different songs. But I wish they would enable it where you can now use your AirPods as well as a microphone, and if you want to use your iPhone as a camera, it would be able to do that, but they haven't yet enabled that. At the same time, there's another feature that has been added, which is called camera remote feature, that allows users to control the camera on their iPhones or iPads using their AirPods, which is good for those people or content creators that are usually solo. So for example, if I go into my settings right here, you can see camera remote under camera control. If I select it, you can see now if I press once or press and hold, it will have the ability to trigger the camera control. So on the camera control, I'll select press and hold just like this and then go back. And now if I was to go like into my photo application on the iPhone and then press and hold, you can see it begins to take a photo. And then if I press and hold again, you can see it counts down actually from 3, 2, 1, and then it takes a photo. If I was to go into like a video mode and then press and hold, you can see it begins a video, and then if I press and hold again, it stops the video. At the same time, this also works in other third-party apps such as TikTok, Instagram. So if you want to start a video and you are standing away from your phone, you can literally just press and hold, or if you change the setting to just press once, then you have the ability to do that as well. Another change that's here also with the AirPods update is now the AirPods have the ability to automatically detect when a user falls asleep, and they will automatically pause media playback, thereby helping you conserve conserve battery life. Another new feature here as well is enhanced call quality. So if you are making a simple voice call, or maybe if you're making a FaceTime call on your iPhone or Mac using your AirPods, wearing them as the audio interface device, you should now hear enhanced audio call quality, and this is going to improve both your microphone and the sound that you're going to hear. But from my testing and what I've been able to find, it's a very minor change since it's just a software update and not really a hardware change. Also, during the beta testing phase of iOS 26, Apple had made it easier to upgrade your AirPods to a beta version. You would simply just connect your AirPods to your iPhone and then select them just like this, and there will be a pop-up on the top screen that says try out beta versions of the AirPods, and you could simply update to that. But that's no longer here since iOS 26 is officially out to the public and is out of beta. Another new thing that has been updated as well is automatic switching for CarPlay. So now this is all thanks to continuity. So if you go into your settings and you go to where it says general, under the continuity and AirPlay section, this is where you can set up or fine tune that setting where it says keep audio in headphones, and when using AirPods or other wireless headphones, keep audio with headphones when other devices like speakers and cars are connected. So this way, when this is enabled, it will always remain in the AirPods, unless of course if you remove them and put them back in the case and close it. There are new features that we were promised that I haven't been able to see yet, like for example the ability to use your Apple Watch as a microphone and listen to what it's capturing using your AirPods, for people maybe that are hard of hearing or that require hearing aids, and that hasn't yet arrived. At the same time, if you are in Canada, there isn't yet the feature to be able to use the hearing loss feature. So I'm in Canada. If I go into here, I only have the hearing protection. Just an FYI, hearing protection was enabled for a couple more countries just a few days ago, 5 more to be specific. But as you can see, the hearing loss feature hasn't yet probably passed the approval for Canada, but that's why you see that I don't have it right there. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this new languages. I'll continue to test it, and maybe with fine tuning, I'll be able to get it to work. Now, that's it for me when it comes to this new iOS 26 AirPods firmware version and update. Hopefully you found it helpful in a way on how to get your AirPods out of the beta, and then how to see some of the new features and changes that are here. If you like the video, give us a like, and what's even better than that is to hype the video so that we get more recognition. Other than that, my name is Ben, and I'm signing off. Peace.